Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 333. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And go play Lotto 333. Let's
That's
do it.
it's a lot of threes. I'm kind of too many threes. Can't deal with it.
Well, wait till we get to the sixes.
Yes. Oh well, that'll be if we make it to the sixes. That is a very special episode. And I already know who I want to have guest on it.
Wow. Oh, wow. Satan himself, ladies and gentlemen.
I got his direct nine.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I definitely
Lord.
do.
So we're here this week and a little busy this week. We're gonna as usual try and get right into it. I think we both had some busy purchasing times.
We did.
Yes.
We definitely did. I know you went some
Yeah,
to a
we
convention.
we weren't even together. So
No, we did
this
a
all
separate
separately.
thing. Yes, we
Yes.
did. So
Um
would you like to start the ball?
I can go first, not a problem.
Sure.
So this past weekend, from when this drops, I attended day one of both days, but day one of Eternal Con. The 10th anniversary actually of Eternal Con, over there from Hofstra University on Long Island.
Very nice.
Very cool. First time I've been to Eternal Con, and very cool convention. Very small, it's not nowhere near like San Diego or I mean, if you know Hofstra, yeah, it's not going to be big. But they definitely had some. They had their fair share of celebrities. They had a few people from Star Trek. The most famous one I knew of is Data from Next Generation.
Nice.
And they had the Pink Power Ranger. No, not Amy Jo Johnson, which was a lot of our first crushes if it wasn't Kelly Kapowski.
One of the 30 other ones.
The second one, to be fair, Cat. The second Power, the Australian.
I think the one who came back for the movie, the recent movie.
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
I didn't see it yet.
Oh, it was so good because it's they made it just like an episode. They had like $17. They threw it together.
Nice.
It was really fun to watch.
Okay.
So she was there. A couple other actors from like The Fly, like the original Fly movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a friend of mine actually was looking for him. I forgot his name. And then just the one part that's not retro gaming, but for me personally, I enjoyed it. The one wrestler that was there was The Big Show.
Oh, nice.
And though he works now for AEW, I did get him to sign my replica Attitude Era WWE Championship.
Very nice. He held that a couple times.
He did actually, and this you know me, I'm very particular.
Yes.
So, and there's a signature right there, The Big Show.
Very nice.
Kind of wanted him to sign it here along the buckles, but whatever.
Why didn't you tell him that?
I thought I did, but then I started talking to him. So, very nice guy. Very nice guy. So that was very cool. Not the only thing I purchased though. So here are some of the things I picked up from the convention. Oh, one of which I apologize, I don't have the gentleman's name. I will put a link. I know his first name is Sean. I'll put a link down in the description. I'm getting there was like a very small artist alley that was there. And so I got which I haven't done in a long time. I got what do they call them? A commission.
You did a commission.
Yep. And it's going to be, he's going to mail it to me. So, because I'm not going to
So you'll see it in 1 to 2 years.
No, maybe in a month. I'm going to hopefully guess a month.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Yes, hopefully. Where is...
I just remember the last commission that I got for a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I think...
Is that for Frankie?
Yeah, for Frankie. And I think he got it 3 years later.
Hey, look, sometimes this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, why is my thing not syncing up? What had his name? Anyway, it's going to be a full character picture of Donkey Kong.
Ooh, very nice.
Figured, and I was going through. I'm like, who should I get? Who should I get? Donkey Kong.
All right. It's a good one to get.
Yes, absolutely. So when I picked up the when I ordered the not the bus, but the profile, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
He threw in a like one of his lithograph pictures or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This one, Ant, is actually for you. So I picked this up for you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He did sign it. It's a long one.
Ooh, Wind Waker.
Yes.
Love it.
So there you go. There's a signature.
Wow, that's
Sean.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So very cool. He had another piece that was more vertical, but it was original, and it was like Majora's Mask, like all the games.
But look, see this spot right here on the wall?
There you go.
Yeah, I got a spot right there.
Boom. So there you go. Next time I see you.
Thank you for the purchase.
Yes, no problem. And then I also picked up a couple of Mega Man actually things.
Oh, okay.
One is a pop vinyl. I like the 8-bit Mega Man, Black Hole Bomb Mega Man, purple.
Oh, very nice. I was gonna say, like, they can make like 100 different versions of Mega Man based on the powers.
They should do, and
not to mention the villains.
I think I got 3.5. No villains. They never made a villain except for Billy.
What do you mean 3.5?
So I have now this Black Hole Bomb Mega Man. I have blue Mega Man. I have a black and white Mega Man, which I love, retro Mega Man.
Nice.
And then I had, remember the cereal Funko put out?
Oh yeah,
the tiny.
So you got tiny Mega Man.
The Mega Man, yeah.
Okay.
And then
wait, are you telling me that I have a Mega Man in my cereal box back here?
Oh yeah, you also I think have a Pac-Man in there too.
And I have a Mario.
No,
Mario didn't come with it?
Okay. No, but the Mario box is an amiibo for
Mario
Odyssey.
Right. So I have all 3 of those behind
You do, yes.
But I will not open them.
And
actually by now the cereal has all settled.
Oh,
and it's probably one big blob right now. So the Mega Man and the Pac-Man are just somewhere like stuck in this big blob of cereal.
Oh, let me see if I can reach it. You pour it out, thunk.
Like, I think I killed the cat.
And then some Perler bead art, which I haven't bought in a long time. I picked up Bass, Mega Man and Bass, if you want to call
Bass.
It. Yeah, Mega Man and
Very
Bass.
Nice. Very nice.
Which, by the way, came out for Game Boy Advance. And if you can find a copy on Super Nintendo, it's awesome. But on Famicom is even better. Mega Man and Bass, probably one of the best Mega Mans, which I feel like I'll hold off
very
on.
nice.
And then that's not all.
Yeah, hold up.
Just from the convention.
Oh, never mind. Before that's not. My cat wanted to jump up, so I was trying to clear a room and she ran away.
Oh. So anyway. that was just a convention. I also went to Game On.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's go through that real quick.
Man. Does your credit card like fade after like 3 months and you have to order a new one?
It really is a problem. No, it's the Apple and it's made out of titanium, so I'm good to go.
Oh, right.
First one on Game Boy, Fortified Zone.
You will be the first person to ever destroy a titanium card. Nice.
Fortified Zone, very cool.
Side scroller?
It's more like it almost reminds me of Metal Gear, the way it looks.
Oh, okay.
The NES Metal Gear, just a little larger sprites.
Cool.
I also picked up Nemesis, which is the Gradius series.
Yes. Nice game.
Awesome.
Good game.
Also picked up, now this is a reproduction because the original is a lot of money, but I tried this a Game On like months ago and I fell in love with it. So thankfully this is a reproduction, way less expensive. Kickmaster for the NES.
Oh, nice. I remember. You know what? I remember that.
Yeah. Well, wait, remember when I told you that I played it or originally? Because I never heard of this game before.
No. When you told
me. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, this is an awesome game. And then for the PlayStation, and it's for the PlayStation 1, in an original box. Yes. We had this conversation before. These are original. They switched over to these eventually.
Yes.
The Raiden Project.
Well, that's the second version of PlayStation boxes.
Agreed.
The original ones were all cardboard-ish.
Yes. Yep.
Then they did these, and then they did the small CD cases.
So the Raiden which is basically just Raiden 1 and 2 on one card on one disc. So very cool on that.
I bet that cost a little bit.
No, you know what? Not really. To be honest with you, wasn't as much as I thought.
All right, fair. Very fair.
And then finally,
When you say finally and start laughing, I can only imagine. So.
No, only because really, this is for like if I have friends over, they can play as well.
Okay.
But it's really purchased so I can finally twin stick GoldenEye on the N64.
Oh.
I picked up another Switch N64 controller.
Very nice.
Which it's my favorite controller design of all.
Interesting. Which is funny too, because I had posted yesterday, Saturday on the 8th, it was a video game day.
Yes, it was.
So I had posted it and I asked our fans on Facebook. Yes, fans. I asked our fans on Facebook what they would be playing for video game day. And Aaron, who always
don't get me started. Yeah, I know. I've had this conversation with him.
No, I was talking about how he was playing Mario Kart on N64 and then regaled with the whole idea of how much he hates the N64, especially the controller.
I've had this conversation with him privately. And now that he's brought it up publicly, Aaron, we're gonna have you on the show.
Oh, I think that's a retro showdown. So Larry and Aaron N64 controller battle.
Not cool, Aaron. You know that. And I
Uh,
lied. There is one other game I did purchase, only because I really never saw it before, and I kind of like the art. It's an Atari
Okay.
2600 game, Crypts of Chaos.
Oh, I have never heard of that. And
Never heard of it.
and that looks like my kind of game.
No, it's very. I YouTubed it. It's a
The
very.
guy, the cover, the guy behind her looks like he's about to chop her head off.
Not for nothing. I thought it was Star Wars.
It does look like Star Wars.
Yeah. But this looks it does look like he's gonna decapitate her.
Yes.
But nevertheless, I saw. I'm like, what is this? And I looked down. All right, I'll give it a whirl. So
nice.
And that, right? Yeah.
That all.
Yep.
That is all. That's enough.
That was
for a week. For a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a week. Okay, so my turn really quickly. So I was up in the Albany area last weekend, 4th of July weekend. It was my first time being there, which was kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've never been either.
Yeah, never been to the capital of our state here.
Albany, Atlanta town.
So of course I get there, I check into the hotel, and literally the first thing I do is what video game stores are around. Like I do two things when I get to a new town. Where are the video game stores, and do you have a Cheesecake Factory?
Yo, we can do a whole podcast.
Yes.
Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, and then bonus. So bonus, yes, they had one Cheesecake Factory, and then bonus, they also have a Cracker Barrel. So,
nice.
I was very happy. But anyway, so I looked up some video game stores. It was a Sunday when I went there, so unfortunately, some of them I think were closed by the time I was able to kind of get there.
Okay.
And then all of the video game stores in that area are closed on Mondays. And I don't know if it was because it was 4th of July weekend. I don't think it was though, because when I looked at them online, they had, some of them had pictures of the store window with the hours. Mm-hmm. Monday they're closed. So I'm like, oh.
A lot of places for some reason I see closed, especially restaurants. I usually see mom and pop restaurants closed on Mondays. I feel
mom and pop. I think
like a restocking day.
I think like friggin' like hair salons and places like that close Mondays and stuff. I get it because it's a work day. People are at work. It's probably gonna be slower.
Exactly.
So anyway, so I hit up this store in a mall up in Albany, and it was called J Street Video Games.
Okay.
Really cool store. Here's
very nice.
And if I would have thought a little bit more about it, I would have taken pictures of the store, but I did not. Just a post, but I'll be up there again. I'm pretty confident. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, they had a lot of cool stuff. Like for the space that they had in the store, they really maximized it. A lot of video games. Like it was nice to see like a wide breadth of video games. And then they had stuff like they had statues, they had Pokemon stuff, all kinds of things.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. So they kind of covered the gamut with everything. Mm-hmm. So since I was up there first time, I thought I would pick up a few games. I talked to the two people working behind the counter. They were super nice, super helpful. Really cool. So like I highly recommend anybody who's up in the Albany area to check out J Street Video Games. They were really cool. I didn't think the prices were all that bad either.
Okay.
So, but then again, I'm not like an internal price checker.
I have no, I
can't tell. Like they had an original copy of Diablo for PlayStation 1.
Ooh.
It was going for, but literally while I was staring at it, they got a phone call asking for it and they were looking for it. They're like, they were literally talking to each other in front of it because they were in window cases.
Okay.
So they're like, does anybody know where
the workers or
the workers, the games were in, yes. The games were in shelves, like glass shelves that you had to open. So they were like, so they were talking to each other, like, where's the Diablo? So this guy's on the phone asking for the Diablo. And I'm like, oh, I know. And I like pointed to it. I was literally just staring at it. And she's like, if you want it, I'll tell this guy to bug off. I was like, but I wasn't ready to drop 130 on a game. So I told them,
really?
Ooh, it was 130.
I have Diablo.
Yeah, it was 130. And I was like, ooh, I would like it, especially now because I own Diablo 2 and 3 on my PS5.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to start Diablo.
But 2. I did not buy Diablo, but I did buy a few things. And the first thing I want to show is just something I bought purely for nostalgia. For nostalgia. They had Nintendo powers there, and I wanted to buy all of them. I wanted to buy them all. I did not buy any though, because I saw this and I'm like, I kind of just want to add it to my collection, just again for the nostalgia thing. But I found underneath one of the racks.
Wow, you really dig, don't
you?
I'm not a digger.
Yeah, like hiding underneath the racks where you can't put anything because the floor, it's just the floor.
Yeah.
But hiding underneath the racks was this OG NES cartridge holder.
That is awesome.
So I grabbed this.
Nice leather bound.
Yes, fake leather.
Faux leather.
Faux leather. It's in really good shape, except somebody signed it in 1992. I don't know if you can see that there.
What?
Yeah.
Michael somebody in 92.
It looks like Miznes or something. I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so 92. But outside of that, like,
stadium events.
Here's our other business card. Hey.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
Look, N64 controller on
it. Beauty. I like it.
So anyway, excellent condition. Like,
oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah, it looks pretty and
that's
new.
a beautiful.
And she even took it into the back to clean it again because it was dusty. Because I guess nobody saw it sitting under there. So she's like, let me take it to the back and clean it off. So it's really good. It's got nice. It smells like it's 30 years old.
So it smells like mold and mildew.
It's a little musty, but
not for nothing. You leave the city and people are so much nicer.
Yeah, they really are. But look, excellent condition.
No, that's awesome. Let me see the logo. The Nintendo logo.
Oh, the Nintendo logo is in great shape there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Beauty. Yeah. All right, cool.
So I got that. Okay. Yeah, I almost walked out of there without buying any games because there were all these other things where I'm like, oh, I want the Nintendo powers and all these things. But despite, I did grab some stuff. So since we've been on a Batman kick,
we have kind of. Yeah.
We've been on a Batman kick. We did Game of the Week. We did Batman NES. Then we did Adventures of Batman and Robin and Super Nintendo. So, and because it wasn't expensive at all, I just thought I would add another Batman game to my collection.
Why not?
So I picked up the much reviled Batman Forever for Genesis.
Oofa. Okay.
But in the original box and everything, no instruction booklet, but I put the receipt in here.
Of course you did. Good Lord.
So when I'm 80 and I see it, I'm like, oh, remember when I bought this? And they'd be like,
I need to return this.
And the nurse in the nursing home was like, okay, let's get your teeth. It's time for pudding.
For some more pudding. Exactly.
Time for pudding. And then since I kind of wanted to round out another collection that I've been doing.
Oh, okay.
Which is my Final Fantasy collection.
So
I picked up an OG copy of Final Fantasy IX.
Nice.
Which is great considering the fact that now it was originally a rumor, but it sounds like it's more of a leak.
Okay.
There's a Final Fantasy IX remake coming.
Oh. So, remake or remaster?
Remake. Ooh, so like the way they did 7, the 7 remake, but original booklet.
Yeah, beauty.
Everything's in excellent shape. The discs are in great shape.
Very good.
So, and I actually started playing this on my Switch because I bought a digital copy, but I kind of wanted the physical one. I'll add it to my Polymega. Be very happy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep, nothing wrong with that. And on top of it, especially now since the leak about the 9 remake is out, I have a sneaky suspicion this is just going to jump up in value now.
Oh, probably.
The original one.
Right.
So I grabbed a copy of that. And then I also grabbed a copy also for the play. It was all mostly disc games that I bought.
Okay.
So I picked up the collection package of Final Fantasy Anthology on PlayStation 1.
Very cool. That's what, 1 and 2?
No, this is 5 and 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think was it Crystal Chronicles was 3 and 4. I don't know if they did 1 and 2.
No, Crystal Chronicles was its own game, I think.
Oh, which one am I thinking of?
I could have sworn.
Was it Tactics?
No, Tactics is his own game as well.
Tactics is his own game too. There's another compilation where they have multiple ones.
No, they do, because I feel like they did 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6.
So maybe they did it that way. But this is 5 and 6, which is really cool. It also includes in the collection just the music, like a music CD.
Real? I didn't know that.
So
I feel like I had this game. I don't remember.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, so got that one. And then the last one I got, which I know you would, and I saved it for last because I think you'll like it the best out of all of them, was continuing to round out my other collection of wrestling games. Since I've been searching for all the wrestling games just to have them. I picked up WrestleMania the Arcade in the large case.
Nice. That was actually a fun game.
It was just a fun arcade.
That's what it was.
That's all that it was. It was nothing crazy. This was not a serious wrestling game. Yeah, and it's fun to just have. And not only that, when I saw it in the large case, I was like, okay.
There's something about that. Yeah, I hear
There's something about the large cases where it's like years ago when I was in Vegas, they had a copy of Resident Evil, the original copy, in the cardboard case.
Yep.
But it was really ripped down the seam. So I didn't buy it then. And ever since then, I've yet to see it again. But that was the version of Resident Evil I owned, because I bought that when it first came out. So I'm still always keeping an eye out for that. But anyway, that's everything I bought from J Street Video Games. I thought it was a good haul. I'm going to add these to my Polymega today.
Awesome.
Which would be very nice.
And just on a side note, because I finally found it, when I was talking about the art and the Donkey Kong getting done, Sean Carlson. You can go to SeanCarlsonArt.com, SEAN, SeanCarlsonArt.com. We'll still put a link down. We'll put a link down.
Well, Sean, thank you for my Wind Waker. Wind Waker art. I'm gonna put that up on my wall for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So great stuff. And with that, I think we'll kind of truck right along. This is kind of not a very special episode, but really barely a special episode.
No, it's just a theme.
Got something. Yeah.
It's a themed episode, and it's something I threw at Larry like not too long before we started recording.
I like it.
But I just thought, because we're doing episode 333, right? Just for the sake of the number, I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about our top 3 games in a franchise.
Okay.
So, literally pick a franchise that has a ton of games, like Final Fantasy, for example. And we would just run down what our 3 favorite ones are in that franchise.
I think so.
Yep. Now, I purposely didn't add Final Fantasy on my list because I don't feel like I've played enough of them to warrant me.
I certainly have
about them. Like I played 7, I've played almost all of 8, and I've played some of 9.
Okay.
And outside of that, honestly, I haven't played any.
I don't think
I have all the early ones. I just need to sit down and play them.
Tactics is probably the longest one I played, and that wasn't even that long.
I remember you talking about that.
No, not even recently, like originally when I
did it. Yeah. But I liked the appeal of Tactics because it played like Shining Force.
Yes.
And I love the Shining Force games because of the way you have the map up top and you get to move all of your characters and stuff like that. Love that format.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Love that format. Which reminds me, I got to get Shining Force
2
CD.
Well, in the meantime, if you have the Mini 2, you can play it on there.
I do have the Mini 2, but I do want to add that to my collection.
Oh, I got you. Oh, yeah, I got that one.
I know you got that one. Yeah. I have 3 for Saturn.
Thought I had it.
No, you definitely had it because you showed it off. I remember you showed it.
Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay.
So anyway, so what I thought I would do is we'll see how many we can get through before we feel like we've run the gamut. But I thought I would throw a few out at you. Or if you think of any, I don't know if you thought of any.
I can think of a couple, but you start and let's see what we have, because who knows, we might match on some stuff, we might not.
Yeah. All right. So I thought I would let's start with the most obvious one that I think you and I would ever talk about, and we'd start with Super Mario.
Okay.
So Super Mario franchise, and we can start it all the way back to the original Mario Brothers game. Which I don't think is going to go on your list, so or anybody's list, but going through them, and again, this could be retro to current. We're not limiting it. So I thought about Super Mario, and the 3 that I came up with out of the entire franchise was Odyssey, which I absolutely loved, so much so that I completed I did all 999.
I still cannot get through.
I did it all.
That level, that last level.
I know.
The endurance one.
I could not stop playing that game. It also came at a time when the Switch came out when I was traveling a lot to Japan. So
True.
I had a lot of time on the plane to play that game. That and Breath of the Wild. I just played like nuts.
Oh, terrible.
So Mario Odyssey, and these aren't in any order. I didn't. Put them in order.
Particular. Yeah.
So I got Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 64 or Mario 64, which to me, seeing that game for the first time, I was like, holy cow. We've just transitioned into a whole other realm. 3D Mario, super cool. And then the last one I had to go with was Super Mario Brothers 3 for the NES. Those are my top 3 in the entire franchise.
And they're heavy hitters. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
Yep.
there was a whole movie basically that led to a giant commercial for Super Mario Brothers 3.
That's
and
right.
Super Mario 64
California.
Jimmy. And somehow she knew where the whistle was.
That's
Don't even
right.
get me started on that.
Ooh, get the whistle. It's a warp zone.
Oh
what?
my God.
What? It's a brand new game.
We've never seen this game before in our lives. So for me, it would definitely, and again, in no particular order, for me, Super Mario Brothers 2 is actually up there, and that's also more of a personal, because I just remember that Christmas. I remember being in my grandparents' house.
The USA version.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Or I talk about anything else?
Because there is a different Super Mario Brothers 2.
That would have been the Lost Levels. Yes. So Super Mario Brothers 2, ours, the Doki Doki Panic reskin.
Okay.
I just remember being Christmas, and I remember the whole family at my grandparents' house. We were in the basement. That's kind of where the major living room was. And I remember vividly, actually, got like, I opened up the present and it was a lunchbox. I don't even think it was a Super Mario lunchbox. I'm just like, oh, hey, I got a new lunchbox for school. Okay. So just instinctively, I opened up the lunchbox. Like, why not? Maybe to check out the thermos. And inside of that was Super Mario Brothers 2.
Nice.
So, yeah. So I was like, wow, my head exploded. It was awesome. So that's definitely one. Super Mario 64. Again, just going into that with the N64 and just this new generation of gaming, with the polygons and everything.
Okay.
And then also, as much as Odyssey and all those are great, I love on Game Boy Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins.
You've talked about that one a lot on the show.
Yep. That
doesn't
one
surprise me at all.
And that's available on the Game Boy collection, which is not the extra part of the online. That's part of the regular online you can download. Okay. The game is after going through Super Mario Land, which was so different, like, this is odd. This is just a weird looking game. Like, it kind of went back to form. It was the debut of Wario.
Okay.
And just it was really cool gaming on the go. So those are my 3. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario 64, and Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins.
All right, fair. It's a good list. It's a good list because I was going through all the Mario games, like 3D World. I love 3D.
3D World's great. 3D Land was really good too on 3DS.
Yeah, narrowing it down to 3 was tough.
It was.
Too bad this wasn't episode 555. Maybe we'll just do this every time we get to them. Top 4, top 5, top 6.
Every 111 episodes,
basically.
I guess. Okay.
All right. So on to how about Mario's nemesis, quote unquote, on the Sega.
Oh,
on the Sega.
Yes.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic.
See
that one I can narrow down a little bit quicker for me. Because I was, again, not being heavily Genesis, but being able to go back and play a lot of the games, especially now with Sonic Origins Plus.
Oh yeah.
Virtually that's almost every Sonic game ever made. Like up to the Sega CD. But I will say, again, no particular order, I'll just throw them out. Sonic CD, Sonic Adventure, and Sonic and Knuckles. And now the reason why I didn't go with any like Sonic 1, 2, or 3 is because with Knuckles and then like the lock-on technology kind of made you go back and play 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of all-inclusive almost Sonic and Knuckles.
Okay.
But I just enjoyed the game, Sonic and Knuckles. I mean, yes, I get it. It was basically Sonic 3, and I forgot what happened with the production, and they branched off. But I really enjoyed that. And Sonic Adventure, I mean, come on. The Dreamcast, and that's another one. We talk about how many times I've bought Super Mario Brothers. The amount of times I've bought Sonic Adventure.
Wow.
Between the original, the GameCube version, and then eventually on one of the digital versions on either Xbox or PlayStation.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. I think I've only bought it once on the Dreamcast.
You never got it for the... Oh, did you have a GameCube?
I did.
Yeah, that's right. You did. Okay. I would thought maybe you got it on the GameCube as well. Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah. So those are my 3.
Those are your 3. Well, what's funny about your 3 is that we're close. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. Sonic CD definitely was on my list.
Yep.
Sonic Adventure, of course. I remember that game to me kind of defined the power of the Dreamcast. When you played that game,
I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, like it really showed you how much, or at least at the time, how much more advanced the Dreamcast was compared to the N64 and the PlayStation. Because because Dreamcast came out before PlayStation 2 and all that. So
yeah,
absolutely loved it. It's a shame it didn't have enough third-party support to keep it alive.
Yeah, you think.
Yeah, and the third game I chose was Sonic 2.
Trust me, Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles very close to each other. But for me, again, the gameplay with the lock on, that's what sold me for Sonic and Knuckles.
No, and that's fair. So, but again, just very close in our list, which is cool. All right, changing it up. And I tried to pick franchises that I think we both played multiple entries.
But to be fair, they're all going to be popular because if the series isn't popular, you're not going to get.
You're not getting a franchise out of it. So, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's switch gears and go over to Castlevania.
Ah, yes, I was waiting for that one. That's because in my head I'm thinking.
Yeah, Castlevania.
So, you want to go with yours? Let me hear what yours are.
All right, I'll go with mine. All right, so I went back and forth on a couple of them, but Symphony of the Night definitely
no-brainer.
Has to be on there, no question.
No-brainer.
The N64 games, not so much.
No, okay. Not even the Wii games, the fighter or whatever it was.
No,
Castlevania Judgment. Yeah,
definitely not. Symphony of the Night. Although I will say I have a couple of the PlayStation 2 ones that I've never played, so I want to play those.
Lord of Darkness, and I forgot the other ones. There's a Harmony of something.
Was it Harmony of Dissonance?
Well, Harmony of Dissonance was on Game Boy Advance,
and then there's something of Innocence. The word Innocence.
Yeah, it's like a multiplayer game, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Xbox. So Symphony of the Night for sure. I remember completing all 204 or 208% or something. It was a weird number.
I think it was. I want to say like I don't think it was. I don't know why 212 is in my head, but it wasn't.
It could be 212. It was 200 something.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I never got that. Yeah.
Oh, I did. I was so happy when I did. That was one of those games where it's like even after beating it, I didn't want to stop.
Yep.
Symphony of the Night, the OG Castlevania.
Okay.
On NES. Yep. Absolutely love. Ridiculously hard. In fact, I don't remember when I actually beat it for the first time. I might have beaten it for the first time like later on in life when I could do save states.
Yes.
Because that game was just
it's wicked, yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad. And then the last one, which will never be on your list and the most reviled, but the one that I remember as a kid playing more than any of the other ones, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. I know, but see, I'll accept that I'm in the minority, unlike you with your Breath of the Wild nonsense.
What are you talking about? There are many people who come up to me and praise me.
I will accept I'm in the minority of Castlevania 2 because most people think it's a bad game. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoy it so much that I still go back and play it every once in a while. Including the version I downloaded on the PC where that guy fixed it.
I would play that.
It's beautiful.
And I know there's another I got to double check Game On because they've been getting a lot of ROMs and hacks and everything. There is a hack of Castlevania 2 that does speed it up and makes clues easier and everything like that.
Well, that's what this version does with the updated graphics, and I have it on my Steam Deck, which is awesome.
So this is probably the only one I'm going to give an honorable mention. Only because the honorable mention. Go ahead.
We'll see. Might be the same as what mine was.
Oh, I just want to get the title correct. Yeah, that's what I thought. My honorable mention is Castlevania: The Dracula X Chronicles on PSP.
Oh, no, that was not mine.
Now the reason for it is because it is Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood, and it just was an awesome game on the PSP. It's like one of the best games, in my opinion, to own on the PSP. He's got two great games right there. But as far as my list, Symphony of the Night, yes. Now, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
Yep.
I adore. I love that game. I thought being able to switch between the characters was awesome. Heck, it was so good. It was that's what the Netflix series was based off of. Basically. And then Castlevania Bloodline for Genesis.
Yes, I love that game too.
Which I'm trying to remember if that game was a catalyst for me to get a Genesis. I can't remember 100%, but those three games are gorgeous. Now, let me ask you a question, which is probably the same you're going to ask to me. Why not Rondo of Blood?
Rondo of Blood was my honorable mention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and we've sat down and you've played Rondo. We've never played the original version. Let's say that, like the actual TurboGrafx CD. And
correct.
In a couple, and you probably, if it's in your news, I apologize. And actually, when this episode drops, maybe limited July 12th, limited run is going to have their showcase.
Yep.
And they better include their Western remake of Rondo of Blood, hopefully. Now that the duo was released, being released. I played the only version, the true version Rondo Blood I played was on the Wii Virtual Console. Because you were able to download TurboGrafx games, and every once in a while they throw in a Japanese version. So it was the Japanese version of Rondo of Blood.
Got it.
I never got far in it. I know you beat it.
I beat it.
Yeah, I never got far into it.
But there are multiple endings. I only got one ending.
But great game. But nevertheless, did I? Yeah, so I mentioned 3. The Genesis version of Castlevania Bloodline, it's just, again, I just love it. It's awesome. It really showed, again, what the Genesis can do, besides what Sonic did.
Very true.
And again, I just love the fact that you had the choice of 2 characters, which really boiled down also the I choice of 2 weapons, a whip or a lance. Correct. So that's what I got for that one.
Yeah, Bloodline, I still have my original copy, and I will never let it go.
Yeah, no, mine's.
Yeah, there've been so many good Castlevania games. It was actually hard for me to narrow it down, and I flip-flop between the first one and the third one, 1 and 3, before I put 1 down, because I'm like, I gotta. And again, it all goes back to your experiences.
Exactly.
Playing.
I played the heck out of 3.
That's what I mean, and that's the reason why Rondo of Blood didn't make the list, because I didn't play that until last few years.
You played it once and you beat it. You were done.
Well, that's true. I was like, oh, look, done. No. All right, moving on. Let's go to a fun little fighter game that we both played and talk about Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Not the movies, the video game.
Well, maybe the movie might be part of this.
Oh, no.
I'll go with this one. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Though I don't know why I keep getting it confused with Mortal Kombat Gold.
I don't know. That's
it's weird. Different. Mortal Kombat Gold was on Dreamcast, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Mortal Kombat Trilogy on N64. Mortal Kombat 2 on Genesis specifically.
Yep. Blood.
Yep. And later on, and we're not purpose. I know we're not purpose. We're saying a lot of old games in these series. We're purposely not doing that. But I will tell you, this is the first one where it's a more of a modern version. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Oh, yes.
On which I had on Xbox. No, I had it on PlayStation 3. Just that was one of the amazing crossovers that I absolutely loved. Yeah, so those are my 3. But that Mortal Kombat Trilogy was just perfect. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy made my list also for that reason. You had access to every single character, the unlockable menus, so you can do all the fatalities, all that stuff. It was just literally, it was the perfect way to wrap up the, let's say the 16-bit era of Mortal Kombat. So absolutely love that. Mortal Kombat 2 also on my list for the reason of it took what the original one did, just multiply it by a ton. Characters, blood.
Specific system?
Genesis.
Okay.
Genesis. Right. I had the Super Nintendo one, but I hated it because it didn't have blood. You can't play Mortal Kombat and not have blood. But then I got the Genesis one. Always right.
It was, and then the 6-button controller came out. And it was that was off to the races.
And then the last one I chose was clearly just from memory, because I was trying to think of like what's the third one I would put on the list. And I went with Mortal Kombat Deception. And I think it was for the Xbox. Okay. But I remember buying that one and just really loving it. And it was the first one where I really paid attention to the story that they had started telling. Now, I remember when 4 came out. 4 was another monumental moment because, again, it was Mortal Kombat in 3D.
Okay, yes. Which I didn't like. Right. I didn't like the departure.
Well, I liked the departure. I just didn't like
how they did it.
Yeah, it was just clunky to start with. But Deception, I remember really enjoying. I want to say I had it on the Xbox, but I can't be sure. Might have been PS2. But those were my 3 for that.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Got a couple more here.
All right.
Trying to okay. Let's go with Metroid.
Ooh. Okay.
And this is more for you because you've played way more than I have. The 3 that I have on my list are the 3 that I've played.
Oh, that makes it easy then at that point.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, I squeezed a lot of Metroid in. I mean, I actually got like I
You
got
played a ton of Metroid,
Metroid
like
out. I
yeah, last
did,
year or this
and
year.
so last year it was right around with Dread.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
but
you were
well,
just picking up
actually,
everything else.
speaking of which, Metroid Dread, phenomenal. Hey, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't know why my headphones are acting weird.
Oh, no, you're good.
All right, cool. Metroid Dread, phenomenal on Switch. Phenomenal. Super Metroid on Super NES. There is a reason why it's heralded as one of the best games ever.
Mhm.
And then for the third one, though, it goes back and there's a lot of close ones. But I will go with Fusion, Metroid Fusion on Game Boy
Oh, okay.
Advance.
Nice.
And it's like a three-way tie between like Fusion, Zero Mission, both on Game Boy Advance, and then Metroid Prime, specifically Metroid Prime Remastered, which I still haven't I'm up to the last boss, and I'm a little timid to go after that again. I got to build up some courage. But in Fusion,
did you get your butt kicked too much?
Oh man, did I ever? It's a tough one. But Fusion is just again on the Game Boy Advance, phenomenal game. Remember, I got all the way up to the end, and then my stupid memory card wiped out on me.
Yes.
So I started it up again, and I'm getting there.
Nice.
But yeah, so Dread, Super Metroid, and Fusion.
Very nice. All right, very cool.
What are the three that you've played?
Well, the three that I played, but the three that I played, I all thought were absolutely amazing.
Oh, of course.
And two of the three were on your list. So Metroid Dread, of course. Space Chickens rule. Right, Jack? Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo, absolutely loved. And I played.
He beaten the Space Chicken yet?
No, okay. He just gave up.
Fair enough.
Super Metroid, which I played on the Super Nintendo Mini.
That's how I did. Oh, on the Mini. We played them on the Switch. I played mine on the Switch.
No, the Super Metroid I played on the Mini.
Okay, cool.
And then the original Metroid for NES. Those are the three that I've played. Absolutely love them all. I do want to play more Metroids. I just haven't gotten around to them. I'm surprised Prime wasn't the third one on your list.
No, trust me, it was getting there, but I just enjoyed the others more. I mean, I enjoyed Prime, but I just enjoyed the others more.
All right.
And the original Metroid, I'm just so apprehensive to start because the way I played these games, I'm so what's the word I'm looking for? Not used to, but just I need a map. I'm not drawing a map. I'm 43 years old. I'm not.
Oh yeah, no. The first one is really hard because there's no map.
Yeah. Now, granted, Zero Mission is kind of a remake of the first one, so I can kind of say I did it, but still.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
I fought my way through the OG Metroid.
One day. So.
Yes. All right. Last one to put on the list, and the most obvious one that I would say for last, of course.
Oh.
Legend of Zelda.
Oh, okay.
So
can I name the three that shouldn't be on the list?
No, you're only supposed to name the three that should be on the list.
All right.
And granted, this does not include Tears of the Kingdom because I haven't started it yet.
Still,
yeah,
I'm shocked.
I'm
I don't care
worried,
how busy you are.
No. I'm worried about starting it because people will never see me again. I literally, every time I'm like, even yesterday was a Saturday, and I was like, maybe I'll start Tears of the Kingdom today. And I'm like, you know what that means? And I'm like, yeah, I go, it's too big. I'm too busy this month. I can't.
I'm gonna be gone for 30 hours.
Yeah, it's like I can't. Yeah, it's like I can't start it and then not play it again for maybe 2 weeks. So right now I'm looking. I have it penciled in for August.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, maybe you can play a playthrough at the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo. We're gonna have the system set up.
There you go.
Can you imagine if you started and finished it that weekend?
That would be awesome. I literally wouldn't interact with anybody. I'd just be
I know. Like, don't talk to him. It's okay. He's concentrating.
Yeah, he's exactly. So so I didn't include that. So my three, and I struggled with this because there are so many that I love. But I always go back to basically the same ones when I say what are my favorites. Breath of the Wild is definitely one of them. No question. One of the best games ever made, hands down. Critics agree. Larry doesn't. Him and 3 other people.
No, more than 3. More than 3
anyway,
people.
Just shut up and learn how to cook, Larry. That's all you got to do. Just shut up.
I don't want
and learn how to cook.
Then I'll buy a cooking game. I'll buy Overcooked.
I have Overcooked. It's fun. Breath of the Wild. I mean, there really isn't not much. There isn't anything else you can say on it. It's just a great game, start to finish.
Okay.
Second one, I got to go with the OG NES Legend of Zelda.
100%.
It's probably the game I've beaten the most number of times.
I'm pretty sure you beat it while we were waiting online to get into New York Comic Con.
I think I did.
You did. It was on my Game Boy, on my 3DS.
Yeah, I think it was on your 3DS. I said, give me your 3DS, and I just played through the damn
thing. I'm like, all right, we're getting ready to go in. I'm like, oh, all right, you're done.
But I always go back to that one. I love it. It's just, to me, I would call it a flawless game based on my experience with gaming. Is it a flawless game in general? Maybe not, but for me, love every second of it. No issues. Hear you. And then the third one, which is the spot that I struggle with all the time now. Which one do I go with? I went with Ocarina of Time for N64.
Really? Okay.
Again, first Zelda we saw in 3D, and they made sure it did not disappoint. I remember how, not life-changing, I don't want to use the words life-changing, I just remember how great it felt to play through that game, and how much story there was, how involved it was, just overall, like, such a great game. And it always edges out, well, now thanks to Breath of the Wild, they all edge out Link to the Past by about like this. That's much. What I'm saying. I know this much.
Trust me, I get it. It's Zelda, it's a smidge.
Yeah, Zelda, I need a top 5. I can't. 3 is hard, True. So those are my top 3 for Zelda.
So for me, and it's funny, Ocarina of Time, that's it was the first thing I ever bought with a credit card. So that game ruined me.
I was just gonna say, that started it all.
My top 3, and again, it's that situation where it's really just there. No disrespect to any of them except for Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. But besides that, the 3
haven't even played Tears of the Kingdom.
I know, it's okay. I've been seeing the machines that are being made. It's ridiculous.
Yes, it's
again, I'm not a mechanic. So
somebody made the giant hand from Super Smash Brothers.
I know, I saw. Yeah.
You see that?
Someone made a perpetual motion machine.
Yes,
that's against the laws of physics. So,
but not against the laws of video games.
I guess not. Hyrule is different. So for me, Link to the Past on Super NES. Oh my God, phenomenal game.
Yep.
Ocarina of Time. Again, that same situation, N64, just a beautiful game, beautiful story. And again, I always go with this, and I always go with the original Game Boy version, Link's Awakening. Again, graphically, it's not going to pop off, but and it's obviously it's going to be shorter because it's on Game Boy. But and the remake really captured, the remaster, or whatever you want to call it, on the Switch really captured a lot of it. But I remember originally playing through that on the Game Boy, and even that story was just great, and dungeons and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
So and I never officially played I'm talking the original Zelda, not the DX version, because that has the color dungeon, which I never got to.
Right.
But yeah, that's where I'm at on that.
All right. Fair. Can't argue any list. No. Really can't. For Zelda, I really can't argue any list, except like you said, like Zelda 2 Adventures of Link to me is the one oddity in the whole canon or franchise. So, so yeah, great list. All right. I think that'll wrap it up.
Can I just throw one more series out, which I kind of was talking about earlier, but I just want to throw it out there.
Throw it.
And there's a ton of games. Mega Man.
I thought about putting that on the list, but so go ahead.
No, I just love talking about it. I mean, for me, Mega Man 2, definitive, made it onto the mini. So, in a weird sadistic way, Mega Man 9.
Really?
The throwback to the 8-bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it is hard as hell, but the throwback to the 8-bit, I missed it at the time. So I'm like, oh, this is my Mega Man. 16-bit Mega Man should be Mega Man X. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the original Mega Man series.
Right.
And as I mentioned before, because I love this, because I just don't think a lot of people know it, Mega Man and Bass. It's on North American. It's on Game Boy Advance. It originally came out on the Super Famicom. Probably one of the few Mega Man games I've actually beaten when I originally played it.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I haven't beaten a lot of them. I mean, I started going through them recently. But yeah, Mega Man and Bass, absolutely phenomenal.
Okay, that's a good list. I'll go really quick on it because
I threw it out. Yeah, I know.
No. This is an easy franchise for me. Mega Man. It'll be Mega Man 2, 3, and 4.
Well, there you go.
Because I kind of lost myself after 4. Like I played some of 5 and then stopped. I never moved on to X. I did buy 9 and 10 on
Wii, I think at the time. Oh no, maybe
PS4 or
that's
Xbox
fair.
360.
Okay,
Sorry, cats are doing
that's
things.
all right.
Come here, come up. Come here, I'll save you.
What are your 3 favorite cats?
Right in my.
Nice.
Did you draw blood?
What?
Yeah, look, I'm all cute, but I drew blood.
What? I tried
yes.
to kill. I tried to slit your throat, but I was a little low.
Yeah, I couldn't make it that far. So I'll settle for your leg. So yeah, so 2, 3, and 4 are definitely the ones I would lean on.
Okay.
And honestly, the only other one that I probably played at length besides those was when I rented Mega Man Soccer.
Hey, that's a good one. Okay,
that was a fun one.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah.
Right.
All right, so
good.
It's good honorable mention on Mega Man.
And listen, folks at home, what are your favorites? What are your lists? And where can they chime in on this?
You guys can chime in on this, or talk about your favorites, disagree with Larry, disagree with me, but mostly disagree with Larry at facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod, on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube at RetroGamersPodcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
All right, so let's now get into becoming one of my favorites here, and actually favorites because we are hearing from some of you out there. Looking forward to it every week, and it is Game of the Week.
Yes, Game of the Week, and it was your choice this week.
It was, dang nabbit. Yes, no, and I picked Contra III: The Alien Wars.
Yes.
Mostly because of ease of access, because I was away this past week, so I was able to play it on the Switch. I did have it originally. And just like it was back then, and like a lot of Contra games are, difficult, very difficult to get through. The only thing that got me through the first Contra and the second Contra was repetitiveness. Just the fact that I love the games. Like I played them, and then eventually, plus a little help with a certain code, I got through them the first time.
Nice.
Contra 3, I have never beaten. And I probably won't be beating it anytime soon, because it's a daunting task to get through this game.
By the way, this was the first time I've played.
Really? You never owned it originally?
Nope.
Okay, I figured it would be up there as a popular one. Okay.
No, honestly, the whole Contra series.
Then I'm happy I picked it.
Yeah, no. The whole Contra series to me just boils down to I only owned the first Contra on NES. That was it.
Oh, you never even had Super C?
No.
Oh,
no.
Okay. All right. I just figured it was one of those games.
No, I know. When obviously I got them all when I bought the anniversary collection, but no, as a kid I had Contra and that was it. Never moved on. And to be honest with you, I may not have even known about Super C. Because you remember back then, back then we didn't have the internet to tell us things.
This is true.
Just whatever you saw in ads. So yeah.
So what do you think then, as your first playthrough? What do you think of it?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I'd call it a playthrough since I didn't beat it. Unlike other games we've played the last few weeks where I've actually sat down and focused on beating the games.
Mm-hmm.
I made it to stage 3 of Contra 3, and that's where that was it. That was enough for me.
No, it's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I did enjoy it. First off, I love the graphics.
Mm-hmm.
This just a 16-bit side-scrolling graphics were really cool. I like the fact that it keeps kind of the original run and gun style that the OG Contra does.
100%.
I did love the fact, and I don't know if this is because it was on the PlayStation or if it was in the anniversary collection or if it wasn't the original. I could hold down the Y button to just shoot repeatedly, because if I had to press that every time I wanted to shoot, no way was that going to happen. So
no, that was just part of the game.
Yeah. So I really appreciated that. Obviously, including the weapons that we all know and love,
classics,
was great. I will say this: I appreciated fire more in this game. The fire weapon, I thought they did a good upgrade on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very happy with that.
The fire gun in the first game in Contra just
awful.
Was terrible.
Well, because it would do that whole curl.
Yeah, it was a weird
and it didn't.
thing.
It didn't work, and it took forever to get the next shot out. So.
It did, but Super C, that's how I got through Super C. I used the fire
just
weapon
endless
at the
fire.
End of the game.
Endless fire. So really like that a lot. The second level, I loved how they changed the format of the overhead.
Yeah.
like the top down. Because again, my only basis of comparison is the OG, and
Which
you
is
just
going
move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one allowed you to go around. After I died a few times, I learned that you could rotate the board.
Yeah. Oh, you did.
I didn't know that in the beginning.
Oh.
I'm like, how am I supposed to shoot these people? And then I pressed the button. I was like, oh well, duh. So I love that. And
Do you
then
know if you hit both L and R, you spin, and if you have two different weapons, if you have two different weapons, you'll shoot both of them at the same time while spinning in a circle.
All right. Well, first off, I didn't even know you can have two different weapons, nor could you spin. So clearly, I have a lot. Clearly, I have a lot to learn about.
Okay, fair enough.
I have a lot to learn.
Fair enough.
I just hit the start button and played. I didn't.
Well, that's Contra. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't know I had to look up. Like, oh, look, he does all this stuff now. It's like okay.
To be fair, I learned about that. Please, I learned you can duck in those overhead levels not too long ago.
No, I learned that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I did learn that pretty quickly.
That you figured out.
Yeah, that I figured out.
Yeah.
So, but overall, like, I absolutely loved that style.
Okay.
And if they made a Contra that was just top down, I would totally play it. Just really,
that'd
really
be
fun.
An interesting version.
Yeah, just really, really fun. Again, like I said, I got to the third level, and the third level to me is like, I don't know, like I think they just want you to lose.
It's a daunting game.
Well, yeah, but the third level, a lot of it you're hanging from like
yes, which is very
girders or whatever.
Yep.
And then you have to fight like a weird alien helicopter thing while hanging on to the girder, but then when you don't hang, then you have to jump onto like a spinning rotating bar that it has so you can shoot it and then jump back on. Oh gosh. I lost all of my lives there multiple times. And after that, that's where I got to that thing and I'm like, I'm good for now.
Okay, fair enough.
Me, Contra's always going to be the kind of game, at least, except for the first one, which I know how to get through, right? Mm-hmm. Contra will be the kind of game where it's like, I'll play it until I can't beat a certain point, and then I got to put it down and walk away for a little while because it just gets frustrating. And that's the whole point of Contra, in my opinion. It's like it's there to frustrate you.
It's like the real Contra.
Like right, exactly. Well, no, the real Contra is to kill you. But you know, it frustrates you to the point where sometimes you got to walk away, which is what I did. But even though I walked away from it, because some games like Bill and Ted, you walk away from it knowing I never want to play this again. Contra 3, I walked away from it and I'm like, yes, I'm going to go back to it because I want to get past that point and I want to get through the game because it's a fun game. So fun level for me was very high. Really enjoyed how, obviously how frantic it is because it's a Contra game. I love, like I said, I love the upgrades. I love the tank that you get to jump into and drive for a little while.
The first one, yep.
I thought that was really cool. Like I said, I thought the weapon upgrades were nice. So overall, a really good experience for a first-time player.
All right, fair enough. I played again. My experience on it was this week was on the Switch. So I admittedly am using save states. Because it's just some parts. Like I remember in the beginning, like the part where you're going up the wall and you got the robot that kind of catches you in between.
Oh yeah,
keep in the middle was kicking my butt. I used to be able to get through that pretty easily, but this past week I couldn't. So a lot of save states. I've only gotten to level 4, which is a motorcycle or an air cycle.
So you're basically saying after all these years of playing Contra 3, I played it once and made it pretty much almost the same distance as you.
Almost. Yes. Well, you didn't get to the final boss of level 3, so
no, but I got pretty far. Considering
you got very far, very far.
Does the 30 life code work? I didn't try it. I should have.
You know, it's funny. No, it's not a 30. I'm sure the code itself works,
but you don't get 30.
No, you may get like 10, I think.
Oh, well, in the options menu you can up it to 7, which I did.
Actually, if you have a Game Genie.
The Game Genie.
You can up it to 99.
Ooh.
Which I'm reading here.
There's a reason to purchase a Game Genie.
So, but yeah, no, I got up to actually one of my favorite boss fights in any game is the level 3. You get the 2 robots, they call them Big Fuzz. The 2 robots, and we're done with them. You think, oh, we're good. And then you see one hand come through, another hand come through and rip the back open. And it's this giant head. And then, that next board, forget about it. So, but great game. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I'm happy that you're not deterred from it. You'll go back to it. So that was this week's game of the week. And we're going to have people clamoring, what's going to be next And this one's your call.
Yeah, that's a very good question, because with all of the prep that I did for today's show, including pulling up all the news, which we're about to talk about, doing the franchise favorites, someone forgot to come up with a game of the week. But I will
gotta
say,
teach you a better way of hiding that, because I got news for you. The last two I kind of pulled out of my hat.
yeah, well, I got to pull one out of my hat too, and I have to call an audible as well because I'm traveling.
Okay.
As you know, which means
Yep.
that it's gonna have to. I'm gonna have to stick to the Switch again. So
Which
my
is fine.
apologies.
A lot of good games on the Switch.
No, a lot. I just want us to branch out to other, to
Well,
other
remember, we
consoles.
say Switch, but like I knew Contra 3 is available on Super NES. It's available on the Super
Right.
NES Mini.
So,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
a lot of games are.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, a lot of the games are all over the place. So I'm trying to think of something that we both have, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Nintendo Switch Online.
Okay.
Because I know
That's
that
what
you
you
have all
have.
of those, and I'm currently looking up the games.
What?
I'm vamping to try and
What?
get to a game.
Why bother editing?
No, what? No, I don't want to edit, because let's just live in the moment. Okay,
We already have one edit.
we're living in the moment, and
Yes, I
you
like
know
it.
what? I think I have an idea for the game. You need to tell me if it's on there or not.
Okay.
I
Well,
believe
what do you
it.
want to do? What
Well,
game you want to play?
what I would like to do, because what just popped in my head, is something more puzzle like, which we haven't done yet. I don't think
No,
we've
we have
done a
not.
puzzle
Not
game
yet.
So what I was thinking was, let's do it is on there. Let's do game of the week next week, Solomon's Key for the NES.
Oh, love that game. All right, I'm in.
Right. We'll do Solomon's Key. All right. That was the only one that popped in my head when I was thinking about a puzzle game for
Fair enough.
Switch Online. There you go.
And if you have it on any, I might just play the NES version then. I mean, it's the same thing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I have the NES version. I'm just not going to be home.
No. I know.
Yes.
So, all right. So there we go. Solomon's Key, great game, very underrated, and we will check back then next week on that.
All right, Larry, we're running long this week, so
right.
let's hurry up and get into some retro news. And the first thing I want
round trip episode, I like to call it. When we go to work and we come home from work.
Yeah, basically that's what we're doing. So really quickly, just two quick retro birthdays I want to share.
Oh, okay.
Both the Japanese releases. So we have the 25th retro birthday for F-Zero X on the N64.
Oh my God, that hurts.
Yep,
I
it's 25 years old. One of the best racing games I've ever played. And thanks to Super Mario Kart, it doesn't look like we're ever going to see F-Zero again.
You read about that, right?
I did read about that.
Oh my gosh.
So
now I despise Mario Kart.
Yeah, I know, because they basically said Mario Kart's perfected it. Why would we do F-Zero? And I'm like, shame on all of you for thinking that. Shame. So F-Zero X is 25 years old.
Okay.
Celebrating its 30th retro birthday.
Man.
On the Super Nintendo, Super Mario All-Stars Japanese release.
Okay, I can see. Okay, yes, I can see.
Yeah, Super Mario All-Stars. So we got those two retro birthdays.
All right. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you two guys. Jumping into the news, and the first bit of news, I know, Larry, you want to talk about this one.
Yes.
But the Poly Mega, which I love and adore, and Larry, up until this point, despises because he canceled his order 3 weeks before he would have had it shipped. Well, let's just say you're you visited the bitter barn a few times over this.
A little. I'm not disappointed I did it. It's just
no,
it's a good thing.
There's no reason for you to be disappointed about it.
Now there is.
because thanks to PlayMagi, who are the makers of Polymega,
the parent company.
Yep, Larry's Atari VCS will not be will not be a super expensive paperweight anymore.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because Atari and PlayMagi are joining forces to bring the Polymega to the Atari VCS. And on the flip side, we are getting an Atari module that will play 2600 and 7800 games on the Polymega.
This is almost like the Jetsons meet the Flintstones, Alien versus Predator.
No, it means is the 8 people who bought a VCS
rude
will actually be able to use it now, because they'll be able to play the Polymega app and the Polymega Remix add-on on their VCS.
Yes. So basically, as Anthony just said, we talked about this a few months ago. Polymega really stepping up their game. They got that Polymega app, which is basically their online store. Well, no, I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's you can play games that you have like on the go. that you've already ripped, or the games that are already available, or games that you buy from the Polymega store. And then the Polymega Remix is basically their cheaper, I don't want to use the word cheaper, but their inexpensive version of their main system, the CD-based system. The idea is, originally when it was coming out, it was going to be like $180 somewhere around there, and you plug it into your computer. So like all the hardware, it would be in the computer, and then you just kind of use it as a disk drive, essentially, because really no computers have a disk drive. But now, well, how old is yours?
Well, my desktop?
Yes.
I don't know, 5.
That's old. But now, those unused USB ports on my Atari VCS can now finally be used, because I will be able to hook up the Polymega Remix to the Atari VCS and then get access, probably the same day I get my Duo, get access to TurboGrafx CD and all the other systems that Anthony's been enjoying. I'm the only thing I'm curious about is if I'd be able to rip the ROMs. I don't know about that, but
that was going to be my question, because you have access to the VCS doesn't have a CD drive.
It doesn't have any drive. There's no drive whatsoever. Yeah.
Right. I was going to say, you're going to have to buy like a CD drive for your.
No. That's the Polymega Remix. The Polymega Remix. Think of it as like a slim Polymega.
Got it.
Yeah. But like all the hardware that's in your Polymega, the Atari VCS is going to take care of.
It's going to take care of. Right. Exactly. Okay. So you'll be able to play all your CD based stuff.
Exactly.
On the Remix.
Exactly. I already have all the systems, but I'll be able to do like Neo Geo, the one game probably I'll never buy, and some other stuff. But also, if I understand correctly, the Polymega Remix will also be able to adapt the modules. So I could, in theory, order the modules. And so really at this point it would be the N64 one.
Right.
And then we talked about this the other week, and when we were talking about clone systems, how there's really not many clone systems for the Atari. You got the Hyperkin 77 for the 2600, but there are none for the 78 now. And I thought it was 2 separate, but it looks like it's going to be one module for, as Anthony said, the Atari 2600 and 7800.
Yeah.
Bottom line, and I love the Atari VCS, even though now I could buy Atari 50th anniversary on the Atari VCS,
which you already own. You're welcome.
I already own on the Switch. Which I love truly. But I think this is really cool. Oh, and on the flip side, Atari games, like official Atari games, which have been a lot of the remixes that they've been coming out with. Recharged edition.
Yes.
And probably like some original Atari games are going to come to the Polymega store as well.
Yes.
So this, for 2 companies that are iconic in their own way, this is a great crossover and a great collaboration. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yes.
What do you think?
It's definitely going to be good. No question about that.
All joking aside, who do you think benefits more?
Oh, Atari.
You think Atari because of the okay?
Yeah, I think Atari hands down.
All right, no problem. So,
very cool. I would say Atari does, because Atari was basically closing up shop with the VCS until this news.
Kind of. So it does.
And when you think about it this way, people who didn't get an opportunity to get a Polymega, who don't want to wait for a Polymega because they're still backlogged with their orders.
I think they like make on demand now. It's weird.
Yeah, at that point, like I'm pretty sure you can go and buy a VCS without much issue.
You can, but then the price is better off buying the Polymega anyway.
No, I know. I'm just saying though.
No, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
For people who want something now,
especially because there was a big sale on 4th of July on a lot of the VCS stuff.
There you go. So for anybody who wants to get access to Polymega stuff now, you're better off getting the VCS and the Remix, totally. Than waiting for a Polymega.
You think you'll buy the Atari add-ons for yours?
I will, because I don't have any system to play them on right now.
Do you still have your games?
I thought, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got tons of Atari games. I just don't have the Retro Freak doesn't play them.
Gotcha. Oh well.
No, it plays 16 other systems.
15.
15, and with that, well, no, 15 for you, and you threw those 15 in the trash. On to other news.
What else we got?
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave 5 DLC drops this week on July 12th.
Oh, 12th is gonna be busy. Okay.
July 12th, you get to play as Kamek, Wiggler, and Petey Piranha, getting 4 new courses.
Yes.
4 new courses based off
8 new courses.
Oh, 8 new courses. I'm sorry.
Yep.
8 new courses. So be on the lookout for that if you have your Mario Kart 8.
Yes. Can't wait.
I don't know why this is news, but I saw it and started laughing.
All right.
Nintendo has officially come out on their Twitter support page and is urging Switch users.
Oh, I saw this. Yes.
To not blow into their Switch cartridge slots.
Douche.
Unlike the NES and the Super Nintendo and the old cartridge-based systems, these are SD cards.
Yeah.
Blowing into your SD card slot could damage it permanently, to the point where I guess Nintendo support has received enough calls and issues about card slots that they are urging people to please not blow into them.
I mean, again, I know I'm digital, but I wouldn't even think about blow. I mean, it's really such a small area too to try and get into.
Yeah.
Even try and blow into it. I mean, I have a cart in there all the time anyway.
Enough people are doing it that they have.
I believe it. Yeah, that's wild.
All right, moving on. A bit of a continuing story here on the Retro Gamers. We've covered it before. Yuji Naka, co-creator of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, this guy. Good Lord.
Yep. He was taken to court.
He did not run fast enough.
He did not run fast enough. He was taken to court for insider trading. He was found guilty. He is getting a suspended prison sentence.
Oh, okay.
He was sentenced 2 years and 6 months. Suspended for a period of 4 years. And he received a fine of 171 million yen, which is roughly $1 million US.
There we go. Yeah, so, that's hey, look, it's a crime, but
for Yuji Naka. Yeah. More news. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, the original coin-op arcade game, is coming to the Sega Master System.
What?
It's coming to the Sega Master System. Somebody, a homebrew coder.
Okay.
Xfixium.
Xfixium.
Spelled X-F-I-X-I-U-M.
Oh, so he fixes things.
Okay. Yeah, basically. He is porting the original arcade game to the Sega Master System.
Interesting.
Yes. So for those of you who have a Sega Master System, you may be able to get access to this.
I'm very interested in that, actually.
Another homebrew bit of news. These always
I watched that homebrew, the thing you talked about last week, the homebrew showcase.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. All these games, I mean, some of which I already have on order, but some of them are just look amazing. And going like Master System up to like N64.
Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff going on out there.
Love it.
There really is. And speaking of, here was a bit of news. Do you remember the Sega Channel?
I do. I never, not firsthand, but I remember of it.
So the Sega Channel was literally a channel, a video game.
Have it?
A video game channel that you were able to play. The Sega had struck a deal with Time Warner.
It was with cable companies.
Time Warner Cable Company and TCI. I don't even know what TCI is.
I don't remember. I remember of them.
Right, but they struck a deal that you could get access to the Sega Channel, and every month they would drop games.
Yeah, we had Optimum back in the day, but we never had the Sega Channel as part of that.
Yeah, I don't remember what we had, but we didn't have
Optimum.
Yeah, we didn't have Time
whatever
Warner.
It was called back then. No.
We had Cablevision.
Yes, that's what it was. Which it turned into Optimum.
Right, we had Cablevision. So, apparently, I know that just popped in my head. Maybe because ColecoVision, Cablevision. But so another ROM hacker named Billy Time Games, exclamation point Games, over the last year has been transferring the Sega Channel games to ROMs for you so you can play them. So I ran into this bit of news. He's finishing up his last drop of the Sega Channel Revival. He calls them Sega Channel Revival.
Okay.
And they are ROMs that you can download and play the games that were available on the Sega Channel. The last one he's calling July 1994. Don't know why. The Sega Channel was around from December 12th, 94 to July 31st, 98. So
a long run.
That is a long run. It was longer than I thought it was.
Yeah.
But He did about a year's worth of the Sega Channel revivals. You can find them online. You can actually find them for download on archive.org.
Okay.
The archive website that archives video games. So just another way to save stuff that could have been lost.
I mean, the most famous one out of all of it, in my opinion, was Mega Man: The Wily Wars.
Yes.
Which is on the Genesis collection on the Switch. Retrobit put out a physical copy, which I own. Actually, I played through it. I beat it. A great game. Great 16. Like, it's Mega Man All-Stars, if you will, for 1, 2, and 3.
Yes. So if you guys are interested in seeing the Sega Channel revival, you can find it online. Check out archive.org and download the ROMs if you want to play them. Okay. Myst. You remember the game Myst?
I never played it. I know you loved it.
I loved it and never beat it.
Really? Okay.
No, never beat.
Fair enough.
Never beat any of the Myst games. Man, do I love how like confusing they are. I'm a puzzle nut. I'll play puzzle games. And again, this goes out to another unofficial homebrew project. Somebody has decided to demake Myst.
Okay.
For the Atari 2600.
Whoa, that's going back. Holy Lord.
So they released some images and a YouTube video. I'm trying to find the person's name because it was here and now I can't. Homebrew developer named Vince Weaver.
Okay.
Vince Weaver. Has made a partial version of Myst for the Atari 2600. You can see it on YouTube. And there are images of the game, and it's just funny to see what it looks like when you know what the actual game looks like, because it was originally released on PC, PlayStation 1, but just a fun thing to bring up.
Okay.
Few other bits of news. Taito, video game developer. 3 of Taito's classic 80s Laserdisc games
about this,
are coming to the Switch.
Yep.
So the games are called Time Gal, Space Battleship Yamato, also known as Star Blazers, and Ninja Hayate. All 3 games will be HD remasters of the Laserdisc games. It is launching December 14th in Japan. And will cost about 5,700 yen.
Okay.
Aside from the standard version, they're also releasing a special edition for 19,500 yen, which will include a special Blu-ray disc, a reprint mini standee for each game, reprint pamphlet, a sound app, and a game called Time Gal Reverse.
Ooh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So, and when you look at they show images of the HD remake, but it's got that cool 80s Japanese animation.
Oh, totally.
Like the cartoon animation, which is really cool.
It's like that, it's almost like Dragon's Lair. Yeah.
Dragon's Lair. Yeah. It's got that look to it, and it looks really cool. I would be interested in these when they come west.
Me too. The only one I remember is Time Gal. The other 2 I don't remember.
Yes.
Not that I played Time Gal, I just remember Time Gal.
Yep. So keep an eye out for that. There's going to be a physical copy released on the Switch. And I'm sure there'll be a digital one as well. Okay. I don't know. I feel like we brought this up before. I don't remember, but there is a documentary that reached its Kickstarter back in 2021, which has now been completed and is now on pre-sale. It is called wait, let me get the title right.
All right.
First person shooter, the definitive FPS documentary.
Oh, I don't remember about that.
The pre-sale is available now. It's going out to backers at the end of August.
Good.
It's a 4.5-hour documentary.
Wow.
Covering over 50 first-person shooter games.
Holy cow.
Stuff like, we know, Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, Half-Life, Quake, Halo. What else do they have on the list here? Deus Ex, Maze War, The Colony, just a whole bunch of
great first-person shooters.
Yeah. So for anybody who loves first-person shooters, this is probably the documentary to check out.
Okay.
So again, I'll say it. It's first-person shooter, the definitive FPS documentary, available for pre-sale now. So go check that out.
Will do.
Yep. You just mentioned a little bit earlier about the showcase I told you about for homebrew games.
Oh, yes.
So do you remember the Playdate, the little yellow pocket
Yes, I do actually. Yeah.
that had the crank on the side?
Yes.
So last week they had their first ever Playdate community direct.
Did they really?
Yes,
Everyone's
they did.
getting in on this. When's ours?
I don't know. We should really do one. Here are all of the games we want to play, right? That'll be our direct.
Yeah, right.
Here are the games we don't. Here are the games we don't have time to play. So they showcase trailers and demonstrations for over 30 games and apps that will be available to play on the Playdate.
Okay.
It's a 50-minute long video available on YouTube.
Okay.
And it aired on July 6th. So there is a whole bunch of stuff there. If you have a Playdate or were interested in a Playdate, go check it out.
I haven't had a Playdate in a very long time.
What are you talking about? We have Playdates all the time.
Oh, okay.
That's what else do we do when we play video games? And the last bit of news I wanted to share was something that really surprised the hell out of me.
Okay.
I had no idea about this. I don't know if you did. It's about the GameCube. Did you know that the lid on the GameCube, the circular lid on the GameCube comes out?
Yes, I heard about this.
Only
on certain versions. I just happen to. Oh my god.
You have your GameCube?
I do.
Oh, good, because I took out my GameCube.
Yours is a lot cleaner than mine. Look at the inch of dust that is on top of mine.
Well, you know why? Because mine is held safely in one of these.
What is that?
These are how.
Oh, yeah, I know.
This is how I store my systems. Look, see, it's labeled and everything.
You want to talk about OCD? I mean, honestly, you got to look at how he's got to say. I'm just going to mute myself for a moment while I vacuum my GameCube.
No, please let us hear that. I want to. We should definitely hear that. He actually has a miniature vacuum.
Oh, what?
So
that does nothing. All right.
Oh, and
I need a Swiffer.
You did not mute yourself.
No,
but
I didn't. I need a. That's what my shirt's for.
But anyway, the whole idea is that this circular disc here on the top of the GameCube pops out, which I wanted to try live, but I don't know if I have anything to pop it.
Oh, wait. Oh.
Did you pop it out? There you go. And what does it say on the other side? And how did you do it?
Do not pop out. What? Voided.
How did you pop it out?
There's two clips on the inside. It's only on like the very first run GameCube. So if you open up the GameCube, you see. All right, hold on. Hey, look. You see on the side with the two on the. There should be two little clips.
Yeah. I got it.
Squeeze them easily.
Done. Already done.
This is the first time I've ever done this, by the way.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm ever doing it too. And then on the other side,
it just says Nintendo.
Well, on certain ones,
you are a winner. You won $2 million.
You won $2 million. No, so the
disc, 2012.
Nintendo referred to these discs as nameplates in Japan.
Yes,
that had a product code on the back, DOL018.
Oh, mine doesn't have anything on the back of it.
And several special edition GameCube consoles in that region came with unique versions.
Yes.
So, and like you said, the nameplate is only available on the earlier consoles. So if you have an earlier console, this is my original GameCube, which I got day of.
Here's mine too. This was a pre-order that I had.
And and the back just says on mine, Nintendo GameCube with the Nintendo logo.
Same with mine. And look at how the N and the line and the D are like
white.
That's the same on mine.
Almost like white.
You can see the back of the the back of the lid.
Yeah, which is interesting. So it's just really cool. Had no idea that this existed.
So here's something else, and I don't know if this means anything. Oh, never mind. That's how it sits. Yep. Those slots. If you look at
the slots on here are how it houses the name Nintendo.
No.
On there. See that? See the bumps?
No. Yes, that's what. Okay, that's what I was talking about. Yeah,
the bumps.
I thought maybe like it was a hidden message, but no.
No. It's just.
Why are there other bumps though?
Well, that's the reason why. You remember when you said these things are white?
Yeah.
The bumps bumps go into those slots.
No, I know, but it's kind of weird how they have like little mini bumps in. Almost looks like Morse code.
Yeah, it does look like Morse code.
You know what I mean? I know. Yeah. It doesn't. I'm just.
But I guess I think it's actually just designed to set it in place.
Wow. This is the last time I played my GameCube. I got the Game Boy Player inside of it.
Oh wow. Yeah. I'm a good person and a good gamer. I don't keep my discs in my systems.
To be fair, I don't have any other place to put that, so I have to put it there. All right, now how do we put this back on?
Well, it should go on the same way it came out. pops right back in, just like that.
Yes, it does.
But what a cool little surprise for
Yes, very
something
much.
20 years later.
Honestly, I don't think I haven't handled my GameCube this much in a
Well, that
in a
didn't
very
sound,
long
that
time.
didn't sound wrong at all.
Wow, there is so much dust in there. Okay.
All right,
put
and
you back in your hole.
And oof. All right, enough with the euphemisms. That will do it for
It's a
retro
literal
news.
hole it's going back into.
Yes. And that completes this week's retro
All
news.
right. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, this 3-hour episode we're going to bring to a close.
This 3-hour episode was brought to you by Sunday Exhaustion.
And one final time, where can they find us?
You can find us at the following cemetery after this episode. You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube at RetroGamersPodcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
Yes. And with that, folks, we're coming close to it's coming soon, August 11th to the 13th, the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo from the Cradle of Aviation, right across from Nassau Community College and the Nassau Coliseum.
And we will both be there.
Yes. And after last year, I'm very happy that you're going to be there.
I'm very happy that I will get to be there, but I'll probably ditch you for most of the show.
Well, I don't blame you. That's what I wish I had someone else with me last year so I could walk around.
Yes.
But so we're going to be there. Go buy your tickets, liretro.com. Buy them now, buy them early. But yes, we don't know where on the floor, but we are definitely going to be there. And with that, Ant, have a wonderful week.
You have a good week as well.
And folks, we'll catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.